Running a successful car business isn't easy these days, and Ford is feeling the heat. The company, once a dominant force in the automotive world, is now grappling with a mix of internal and external challenges. From supply chain disruptions to rapidly evolving technology, Ford is struggling to keep up. Add to that the fact that consumers are more cautious with their spending, and you've got a perfect storm. Recalls, layoffs, and production shutdowns have only added to the stress, leaving Ford in a tricky spot. Ford wasn't always in this position. There was a time when the company was on fire, breaking sales records and dominating the market. The F-150, for instance, was America's best-selling truck for decades, and the reintroduction of the Bronco created a frenzy. But somewhere along the line, things started to go wrong. It wasn't one big mistake, but a series of smaller missteps, internal conflicts, outdated systems, and leadership that seemed out of touch with what employees and customers really wanted. While Ford was trying to figure things out, competitors like Tesla and Toyota raced ahead, leaving Ford playing catch-up. One of the most visible signs of Ford's struggles is the state of its dealerships. Rows of shiny F-150s, Broncos, and Rangers are sitting unsold, collecting dust instead of miles. Dealers are running out of space, parking trucks on grassy fields, and renting extra lots just to store the overflow. This is a far cry from the days when hot models like the Bronco would sell out before they even hit the showroom floor. The numbers tell a stark story. As of November 2023, there were still 563 brand new 2023 Ford trucks sitting on lots across the US. That might not sound like a lot, but it's 2.5% of all new Ford trucks on the market. By this time of year, most other brands have already cleared out their older models to make room for the latest ones. Ford, however, is stuck with a backlog. Ford's pricing strategy isn't helping matters. While the company has raised prices on its 2025 models, dealers are struggling to sell the 2024 inventory. This disconnect has left both customers and dealers scratching their heads. For example, the 2024 Ford Bronco Badlands, a rugged off-road SUV, comes with a price tag of $76,500. That's a tough sell, when its main competitor, the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, is significantly cheaper. Even Ford's more affordable models, like the Maverick, are seeing price cuts. Dealers are offering discounts of up to $2,000 to move these trucks off the lot. While the Maverick is still selling relatively well, it's not enough to offset the challenges Ford is facing with its pricier models. The Bronco is a perfect example of how quickly things can change in the automotive world. When it first returned to the market, it was like the second coming of Christ for SUV enthusiasts. People were willing to pay thousands over the sticker price just to get their hands on one. Dealers had waiting lists, and Ford employees were even paying extra to skip the line. Fast forward to today, and the Bronco is a different story. Dealerships are overflowing with unsold models, and dealers are practically begging customers to take them off their hands. The once coveted SUV has gone from being the prom king to the kid no one remembers. The F-150 Lightning, Ford's flagship electric truck, has been particularly problematic. Despite its innovative features, like a front trunk for tools and the ability to power your home during an outage, the Lightning hasn't been selling as well as Ford hoped. In November 2023, Ford sold just 4,400 units, a far cry from the company's ambitious targets. As a result, Ford has had to cut production and reassign workers from its Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in Michigan. Ford isn't alone in its EV struggles. The entire industry is facing a tough road ahead. A global price war, driven by overproduction and intense competition, is putting pressure on automakers to lower prices. While this is great news for consumers, it's squeezing profit margins for companies like Ford. Adding to the challenge is consumer skepticism. Despite federal tax incentives and state rebates, many buyers are still hesitant to make the switch to electric. Concerns about high sticker prices, range anxiety, and the availability of charging infrastructure are keeping people on the fence. Ford's challenges are also taking a toll on its dealership network. AutoNation, one of the largest dealership groups in the US, recently sold off 8 of its underperforming locations, including 5 Ford franchises. The move netted AutoNation $156 million, but it's a worrying sign for Ford. When a major player like AutoNation decides to cut ties with a brand as iconic as Ford, it raises questions about the company's future. Dealerships are also feeling the pinch from rising interest rates and a tough economic climate. Consumers are less willing to splurge on big-ticket items like new cars, and Ford's lineup, while impressive, isn't exactly budget-friendly. This has left dealers with lots full of unsold inventory and shrinking profit margins. Ford is at a crossroads. The company needs to rethink its pricing strategy, streamline production, and find a way to make its EVs more appealing to consumers. It's not an easy task, especially in a market that's as competitive and unpredictable as the automotive industry. The challenges are significant, but Ford has faced tough times before. With the right adjustments, the company could still turn things around. But for now, the road ahead is anything but smooth. The F-150 Lightning was supposed to be Ford's crown jewel in the EV market, taking the best-selling truck in America and giving it an electric heart seemed like a no-brainer. But the reality has been far from ideal. Despite its impressive features, the Lightning's high price tag has been a major turnoff for buyers. With a starting price of nearly $90,000, it's a tough sell in today's economy. Ford has responded to the lack of demand by cutting production and offering incentives, but it hasn't been enough. The company has even delayed the launch of its next major electric pickup truck until 2027, a sign that it's reevaluating its EV strategy. The struggles with the F-150 Lightning have had a ripple effect on Ford's workforce. At the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in Michigan, 1,400 employees have been offered early retirement or reassigned to other facilities. While Ford insists these aren't layoffs, it's clear that the company is feeling the pressure. Some workers are being moved to the Michigan assembly plant to focus on producing the Bronco and Ranger, which are still in demand. But for those who remain at the Rouge plant, the future is uncertain. AutoNation's decision to sell off 5 Ford dealerships is a red flag for the company. As one of the largest dealership groups in the US, AutoNation's move sends a clear message. Ford's current strategy isn't working. The dealerships that were sold were underperforming, a reflection of the broader challenges facing Ford. Rising interest rates, supply chain issues, and tough competition from EV startups like Rivian and Tesla have made it harder for Ford dealerships to turn a profit. Ford's struggles are part of a larger shift in the automotive industry. Consumers are becoming more price sensitive, and the transition to electric vehicles is proving to be more difficult than many automakers anticipated. For Ford, the path forward will require a careful balance of innovation, affordability, and adaptability. The company has a rich history and a strong brand, but it will need to make some tough decisions to stay competitive in a rapidly changing market. For now, all eyes are on Ford as it works to regain its footing in an industry that's more competitive than ever. The journey won't be easy, but if anyone can do it, it's the company that put the world on wheels. But what do you think? Will Ford's big announcement reshape the industry for good, or is it just another bold claim? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more updates on the latest automotive news, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could change the game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.